actually how does the Dolby Atmos works? Because most of the YouTube channels are saying Dolby Atmos, this is Dolby Atmos work like this, the processor, because they actually didn't work in any studios or any Hollywood pre-mixing sessions.
Yeah.
You had experience, right? So actually, what is Dolby Atmos? How
See,
does it work?
Dolby Atmos is actually an entirely new is it entirely new format? First of all, not much. It's still the same old format, but now you have technological improvement as well as you have an additional layer. So those are the two
Okay.
benefits you're seeing here. So I would describe, let it be Dolby Atmos or DTSX, either of them except the Auto 3D ones. Even Auto 3D is also similar, you can say, but not
Okay.
too exact. But let's focus on Atmos and the DTSX part. These object-based ones.
So literally, everyone says it's object based, it's object based, but actually, what does the object mean, bro?
Sure. So,
Yeah,
so the object means you can think of any sound effect, whether it be a thunder sound, whether it be a
yeah.
car revving sound, or maybe a gunshot. Whatever these sounds are there, that is called as an object. Dolby Atmos supports up to 128 objects actually.
Okay,
That is in the
okay,
theatrical version.
okay,
So for the home version, it only supports up to 64 objects.
okay.
And that on all those 64 objects are being rendered from 34 speakers. The max setup for consumer level is 24.1.10. So that's the basic version, but most of the time we are being maxed out at 9.1.6. So actually, the thing here is Dolby has set a standard.
Okay.
So what is the standard means? You have the Dolby True HD. They're basically taking the Dolby True HD or even the Dolby Digital Plus. Both of them formats maxing up to 7.1,
7.1.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah. So
yeah.
from there, you are going to add the third layer. And the third layer needs to have a minimum of two. But now it's being changed. It's not
Mm,
going to be two, it's going to be four now.
yeah, based on the, okay, okay, for mixing, right?
Yes, not just for
Okay,
mixing, even
okay,
the layout. What is the minimum
okay, okay.
requirement, the number of speakers you need? That would be
Yeah, okay.
7.1.2 is the minimum actually, but the
Yeah.
recommended one would be 7.1.4. Now that's going to be a
Okay,
standard.
but even the 5.1.2 also not the version of what we need, right? Like the exact
Uh,
mixed version.
well, actually, Finder 1.2 is very rare in terms of post production wise, actually.
Uh, because if they are only mixing for 5.1.2 means they can only do with this what 5.1, right?
Yes,
Instead
yes,
of
yes.
just for the two channel.
Yes, yes. I mean,
Even
I mean, even though if a person mixes in Fighter 1.2, you can still give, since it's an object-based one, it's gonna still take the metadata information. It's not gonna get fixed
yeah.
into the channels unless if you have some less number of speakers or maybe you may not have some speakers, then that's where it's gonna trickle down.
Okay, so like a Dolby up mixer, right?
In such
Mm.
cases, suppose I mean, nowadays no one is going to use this Fighter 1.2 as a mixing production setup.
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe in playback level for consumers, yes, that is quite possible.
Okay, so basically the Dolby Atmos is literally object based, which is available on the edge levels, right?
Yes, actually, I have to still clear out on the what is object based still. What is object based and
Yeah,
channel based? So,
yeah.
channel based means whatever the objects is going to be played back with a specified number of speakers. That is only 5.1 or
Okay.
7.1. It's going to play back
Yeah,
just
the
from those
bed
speakers
layers.
itself. Yes,
Yeah.
just the bed
Okay.
layers. Then
Okay.
what happens is it is the same object layer. All those objects are going to be played back in different speakers now. Now there's a freedom. It can play back in any number of systems now.
Okay.
So previously we have fully limited to play back these objects within the speakers, and now
Yeah.
it has been transferred to n number of speakers. You can have the max layout. Let's say if you even if you have the max layout which the Dolby standard says is 32 speakers,
Yeah.
then you happen to have some 64 objects. I mean that's quite a lot of objects for the time being.
Yeah.
It's gonna it's just like you have the freedom of utilizing all the speakers, and wherever you want to have a sound object in any of the coordinates, it's possible now. You don't have any restrictions.
Yeah. Understood.
Yes, but
Because in bed layer speaker mixing, they can only use the whatever they mix. it will be showed, right?
Yes, yes, it will be
They
shown.
can't be utilize entire speakers. Even if the layout supports 7.1 extra like expansion method, in theaters they expand the speakers, right, for that those kind of layout.
Yes, yes, yeah. They
So
definitely do
if
the up mixing part, and some up mixing. They sometimes they won't even use the up mixer part. They'll just play back in an array
uh
kind of speakers.
okay.
So they output the same channel into many speakers sometimes.
Yeah. The series parallel concept.
Yes, yes,
Okay, bro. And another thing, most of the
yes.
people
Mm-hmm.
say their phone supports the Dolby Atmos. Even this is a most searched question, if I'm not wrong. Actually,
Okay.
what is Dolby Atmos in phone? Because there are many reels about it, right?
Yes,
Maybe
yes,
you
yes.
you may have seen it, but I think it's not a correct statement what they have said. Maximum
Yeah.
50-50, 50% true, 50% it's a false.
Yes, yes. Actually, you can
Yeah.
see Dolby Atmos in your mobile phones is just the headphone versions. So what happens
Yeah.
here is you can think of this headphone kind of signature. There's different signatures. There's a movie signature, then you have this music signature, you have this voice signature. There are signatures
Yeah.
as well as it needs to
Lit-
create the additional layer which the Dolby
okay.
Atmos states, the vertical layer especially.
Yeah.
So in that case, actually, in whatever the Atmos you're getting in headphones, it is just like an up mixer.
Mm. But
So
we can't get the exact what we feel in the actual commercial theater, right?
yeah,
And
yeah,
it's
that's
like
that's for sure
tuning
because
tune.
the problem
Yeah.
here is more none of the headphones, in my opinion, actually, this is just my opinion. None of the headphones have this. You have the clear rendering of your surrounding, especially the surround back as well as this height layer. They don't really convince properly. I mean, you do
Mm.
feel the verticality, but
That
the panning, the
that kind
flow
of
isn't not conveyed. In what are we really missing from Dolby Atmos in phones and the content wise, like in terms of home theater setups, is it's just that you get more pure audio. I mean, I would say
mm.
you will hear more discrete sounds more clearly
Okay.
compared to the headphone ones.
Yeah, it's actually true thing. Like
Yeah, so that's the only problem. Like you're not really hearing the true Atmos intent.
actually, what's the actual difference between the DTS format, which is DTS X and X Pro, versus the Dolby Atmos?
So first of all, I'll let you know what is an object based. Object based and channel based, they're almost the same. But you need to remember that the core technology of this is the objects. The
Mm.
object means is the sound effects. Let it be a gunshot, let it be an airplane sound, let it be some ambient sound, let it be some any sounds. You can say a bomb
So
blast, anything.
those sounds are the pre-recorded one, right? For 128 object means we have dedicated sounds
Slots.
for each object, right?
Yes, there's a you
Like,
have that many option like you have that many slots to have that many objects. To you can have
okay,
it. Let's make it in that way. You can place 128 objects of capacity. You can say
okay. So it's like at a time 128 object.
yes, you can do it. So he's just
Okay,
giving you the flexibility. So out of 128, in that 10 objects have been is a fixed one. So
okay,
now
which is
you're
the bed
remained
layer,
with
right?
yes with the bed
Okay.
layer, and that is only for the reason of backwards compatibility. So for the
Hmm.
people who are still want to use their 5.1 and 7.1 AVRs which doesn't support Atmos. So for such kind of AVRs, you can still enjoy the latest movies.
Got
But
it, bro.
but it's just that you won't have the verticality, but it's still the same.
Okay.
So that's the reason why the 10 out of 128 objects, 10 objects have been static.
Got it. The static stable objects.
Stable objects, and that stable
Yeah.
objects is categorized as 7.1.
Okay.
Now it has been standardized to 7.1.4 now. So now
Yeah.
it's 12 objects.
Got
So
it, bro.
12 objects are the standard, and those are the fixed ones now.
Okay. For commercial one, right?
Not for commercial one, for
Oh,
the
no, no, for home theater one. Sorry.
yes, yes, for the home
Yeah,
theater.
yeah.
So that and it's just for the main reason for the backwards compatibility. And
Okay.
also you need to understand that is 7.1 true HD 7 like let's pick a movie and you have a track of Dolby True HD 7.1, and also along there's an attached metadata of Atmos.
Yeah. Most cases I see this particular format in commercial theaters or even in home theaters. They mention Dolby True HD plus Atmos.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
So
So
that plus Atmos is nothing but the metadata. So what is the
okay,
metadata meaning over here? So you basically have the regular 7.1 soundtrack. So that is just basic channel based one. That's gonna be
okay,
fixed.
yeah,
I mean, it is just that to make sure that the same soundtrack can be played back in normal 5.1 or 7.1 also.
okay,
But once you happen to have the an Atmos AV receiver or DTS AV receiver compatible one, then what happens is it's gonna use the metadata,
okay.
and in that metadata is an information containing where must this object be placed. So it is not dependent on the speakers, it is
So it
dependent
depends
on
on the
the
data.
coordinates. Yeah, it's like a
Yeah,
room, you have this room
encoded data.
coordinates. Yes,
Okay.
you have all those digital codes and you have that metadata information. So
So
it's not
those.
gonna take in
Okay,
consideration of the channel based ones now. It's gonna focus
okay,
on where I have placed this object in this room,
okay.
or let's say in the renderer.
Sure. Yeah, I got it, bro. So actually, whatever the metadata gives based on the layout, it works
Yes,
in
yes.
simple terms.
Yes.
Okay.
So
So
if you don't have the Atmos setup, but you just have the 7.1, what happens in that one? That's the down mixing version. So
okay,
if you have a situation where you're going to down mix anything from Atmos to 7.1 or maybe 7.1 to 5.1, are you going to miss anything? No. None of the sound objects are going to be cancelled nor eliminated or maybe won't play back. There's no such
yeah,
cases. You will hear
yeah.
every sound object, but it is just that those are going to be placed whatever the channels you have.
Okay.
It's gonna place them to the nearest speaker,
Got it.
and it's gonna ignore the metadata.
Okay. So entirely the 7.1 or 5.1 format will be played in this case, whether
Yes,
the based on the layout. It
based
is
on the
down
layout.
mixing concept.
Down
Yeah.
mixing, and based on the metadata, it will just down mix it, and it tries to place the objects to the closest speaker.
Okay.
So automatically gets converted as a channel base.
Okay, bro. So
Sound
most
Atmos.
people have this doubt because you can see every YouTuber say about Dolby Atmos. They're saying
Yes, yes.
50% are true, but balance 50 they don't know actually.
Oh, okay, okay, yeah, yeah.
That's the
Even I've
reason I
seen
have asked this
few.
question.
Yeah, even I have seen few, and they have explained in a different way, but which is not true intent actually.
Yeah.
And this is the same thing even for the DTS-X or even the
Okay.
DTS-X Pro. It
Okay.
is the same. It's gonna do the same down mixing. It's gonna ignore the metadata. It's totally different.
So both are basically both are metadata based, but in DTSX it has a more bitrate compared to Dolby.
Yeah, only just in terms of audio bit rates, and you have a sound signature actually, which not many of them are recognizing. They
Yeah.
just, even though it is recognized, but they're just recognizing it is as a loudness. It's just loudness. There's definitely a signature that DTSX has been using,
Yeah.
and there's more dynamic levels, I would say. In terms of technological ones, both are same, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
that
Yeah. Yeah.
DTS has more bitrate. Okay, that's fine. But in terms of audible wise, I'm speaking.
Okay.
Technological wise, they have enough capability, to be honest. They have enough capability. But the
No,
matter of
this
rendering
is like
and
yeah.
how do you produce the sound is solely based on the engineer itself. It's just that it's mostly on the responsibility of the engineer, how well he mixes. That
Yeah.
you try
They
to
another main
convince.
problem the integrator not seeing such a thing. They are, in my perspective, most of the selling parties, not the professional one.
Mm.
The guy who shifted from automation to this kind of home theater.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm not blaming on them, but they are not teaching or they are not giving the correct product for their clients. So their perspective will be like we need to sell some product. Actually, someday before I have made a comment with some YouTuber actually.
Mhm.
So he's a automation guy who involved in home theater, like a switched guy from automation to home theater,
Okay.
and those parties selling the Yamaha's I no need to say the exact model because it's a satellite one, and
Yeah.
they are saying like it can perform better than a theater. So it's not actually true.
Hmm.
Comparatively, even it has only 2.5 inch of speaker driver, and the subwoofer drive size is literally around 4. If I'm not wrong, 6.5 or less than 6.5 only. They are selling like it can perform better than a commercial theater. So
Hmm.
you see, I think it's not a true.
Yeah, yeah.
Literally,
For sure,
literally
such
this. Yeah,
such small speakers, uh, will it give you that much of dynamics? No, I don't think so. I mean, we can just compare it, compare to the higher priced ones and that smaller sized ones. There's a huge difference for sure.
yeah. No, no. Instead of comparing with the higher model, we can compare with the entry level bookshelves or some other brand, some other stuff.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I
Even
mean. Yeah.
no need of a floor stand. We can, if we compare with the entry level bookshelf, means we can get the entire setup dynamic in that particular bookshelf itself.
Yes, that's right.
But yeah, as I said, their perspective literally sell the product. They need to sell the product, but the integrator should be give awareness about the product and make the client how to purchase a product. Even though client don't know about the home theater, also they need to explain at least. So these are all the stuff because most of the client call to us, bro,
Mm.
and they say everyone are giving only two options based on our budget, but you are explaining a lot, so it's a good thing we are seeing in you. So they are thought actually.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm thinking that everyone should be like that, like what we do.
Yes, yes. I
Instead
mean,
of giving for two budget, they can explain what are all the tech behind it. In case the customer knows about the technology, means they can increase their budget to get some good products.
yes, yes, correct.
What's your perspective, bro?
So actually, it's just the bad marketing, to be honest. So I mean, even people will not be aware that okay, the speakers look small, and they say it's a very good quality ones.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
there are people who have purchased such and they are dissatisfied.
Got it.
So it's just that you need to purchase a speaker at least based on the reviews to some extent,